Recording. All right. Hello. We're recording.
Hello. We're recording.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I just finished my
Hi.
sandwich. Finished my artwork.
I did not have an Avery witch, and I didn't do any art.
Sorry. But you were keeping me company and talking.
No, I was whining. There's a big difference.
I like my artwork today.
Yes. They're tall
Okay.
black or tall gray. Uh-oh.
Huh?
They're tall. We froze. I said you got to, I called him a tall black because he's not quite a tall gray.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get into why I drew that in a second. So today's topic, we are going to be, I thought about trance channeling, but I think it'd be better done if I'm here.
Okay.
Body.
Now stay with me. I need the support today. Just kidding.
I will be. Maybe she can even give you some help after. You know, it's not channel, it's more of like advice from an extraterrestrial on it.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to be talking to an Arcturian today. I know Arcturians are channeled a lot with other mediums and stuff, and I always like to stay away from
that. Yeah.
I stay away from like popular shit because it's like overdone and beating a dead horse.
However, this one's special because
she's me. She's you're good. Like how you pretend to be shocked, like you already know. Oh my god, really? We've interviewed her before, but just to give you a heads up on the whole, how is she me? I mean, we all live different lifetimes, so we already know that. She's just a incarnation of me in an Arcturian body.
In a concurrent time with ours too.
Yeah, and concurrent time as ours. For people that didn't watch the first time we interviewed her, I'll give a brief history of when I came into this body.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a lot of people when they're growing up, they astral a lot, especially when you're infants, because I mean, you're just being a baby. You're not really doing much. So you just like leave the body a lot.
Baby.
I didn't fully come into this body till I was about 2.5 years old, almost 3. And I still remember vividly standing, like hovering above the human body, the meat suit, looking at it. And I was talking to another Arcturian who felt like a brother type of relationship. And he, you know, he was saying, you know, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We can always choose, another soul could just come in here. And it felt like it wasn't permanent because I wasn't ever in the body. I was never in the body for the first like 2.5 years of the body's life. And I said, no, I have to. And I knew like I came here for a specific purpose. And then I just jumped into the body. That's why I say I'm a jumper and not a walk-in, because the body was always originally intended to be mine.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason you had to go ahead and show up. So thank you. Just kidding.
That's funny. She feels exactly like me. Our energy is exactly the same. Except she doesn't have my pride and my
digestive issues.
Yeah, my digestive issues. She doesn't have that. I have a lot of fucking pride. I'm a little narcissistic. I know that about myself. So she doesn't have that either. But I can recognize I'm a narcissist. I think we all are a little bit. Like we know our shit about certain things.
That just might be regular pride, not narcissistic pride. I don't need my ego fed about it.
Yeah, I just feel like she does get frustrated. They said we can feel all the same emotions, but I feel like specifically the pride thing's not there with her.
Okay.
So anyway.
So
just start
okay. Okay, Arcturian Heather, I don't remember what we called you. What's your Arcturian name? I forgot.
Let's just call her Magenta.
Okay. Hi, Magenta. Remember me?
Yes, remember you. I'm talking to you. She's very excited. She's giggly, but at the same time, she's very what's that word? Poised and proper.
Okay. So, Magenta, can I ask some questions? Okay, Magenta, just for some visuals or whatever, just to put us in your place. How about, like, I'm just going to compare you to Heather. Like, how old are you, like, in a Earth version? Are you young like Heather, or?
No, she says that we don't really have a a concept like that. So that's
Oh.
hard to say. But I am very, I guess, old. It's just as I've been around.
Okay.
I've been around.
Can you compare that to human Earth years or not necessarily? Can you?
I can try, but it won't be accurate at all.
Okay. Ballpark it. Are you like 500 human years or something?
No, more like thousands.
Wow, you are really old.
An old
Wow.
grandma. Old grandma. She said still younger than you.
Than me?
No, she's looking at me. She said younger than you. She kind of moved her hand, like kind of smacked me playfully on my arm.
How are you younger than her? Because she's an old soul, you mean? Because Heather's just a baby still.
I think she was just making a joke.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Miss Magenta, I'm going to start in with questions unless you want to add anything first.
She's saying we came here for a specific topic.
We
and
did.
I wanted, she said either way, whatever you want to do, but
no, I like that topic. What is it, Heather? You introduce it.
so I should have written that on the board. I've been all official
Huh?
about it,
Ooh.
PowerPoint it. But we're going to talk about how the physical body and the astral body are the same thing.
Okay.
How there may be similar, how there may be different, if there are any differences. Because I know a lot of people are aware of, especially with people that have extraterrestrial contact, they're always like, oh, this happened in astral. Or this was a physical contact. And they kind of get too hung up on what is physical, what's astral, when really they're all just one and the same. Like you can kind of get that concept, like, yeah, they're one and the same, but how you still consider them separately. So I think it's time, and I've been feeling this for a while. I've been wanting to do this topic since the beginning of Stardust, but I didn't feel it was time yet. And I was also trying to better understand the concept myself. I feel it's just time for humanity in general to better understand how those two things work together and how they're the same thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring out my little dude. And
little dude.
Don't pay attention to this just yet. We'll get into that in a minute. But the man here, you can see his actual body here. I colored that in. I should have chosen a different color. Fucking Kari, the first thing you say is he's a black man.
He's a tall black man. It's
he's
okay.
a tall black man.
He is black. He couldn't be gray because he used black.
I know. It wouldn't show up on here. So, and then on the outline, that's the astral body. So that's the physical and the astral. They're not two separate things. They're one and the same. They're together. So she's coming in, she's explaining, think of the astral body as the soul itself within you.
Okay.
You are not your body. A lot of humans, even though they understand that concept, they still live as though they are their bodies. It's just your soul who you are. And you've chosen as the soul when you come into this plane of existence, not talking about when you come into the body, which is when you decided to descend into Earth, you've decided to let go of a lot of your understanding of what you already have. So, I mean, forgetting about the afterlife, forgetting about who you truly are. So that all comes with it. So when you descend into Earth, you've shed all of that, which makes it a lot easier to enter into a body, she says. And she says that think of your soul as already its own body. And whatever it latches itself onto, it takes that form. So you've latched yourself onto a human body. So you've taken that form of that body. Your soul will look like the outline of your body.
Okay.
She's saying that all living organisms have this outline. They all have the same construct. So flowers could astral project themselves if they wanted to. That's how you're able to communicate with them. You're communicating with its soul. When you channel someone, you're communicating with its soul. Even when you're talking to one another, you're not communicating to the body, you're communicating to each other's souls. She's saying humans think it's the physical body that has the first reaction. No, it's your soul body that has the first reaction to things and then is then affected physically by it. And so she's saying that that's the first basic basics of it that everyone kind of understands, but forgets that you are not your body. You're this soul in this body. It's just this puppet you're moving. But she's saying puppet insinuates strings and you're detached from the body, but you're not. It's one and the same thing. So when you do leave the physical body, they're still attached because you're still in that form. Your soul's still taking the form of this body because your soul decided to stay anchored to that body. So that's why when you astral project yourself, you still look like you when you do. Because you're still technically that body still. You're just in an energetic form of it now. So she wants me to move on to the effects, how they affect each other. Okay. So now we're going to bring up my little arrows and my little thing. Just to let people know, this is what I teach in my classes too. So you're getting a little freebie here.
Oh, I like free stuff.
Are you going to take notes?
I have questions. I don't want to forget.
Okay, great. Cool. So everyone has a physical body, but then you also think of this as your health for right now. You have your physical health, your mental health, your emotional, and then you have your spiritual health as well. They all affect each other. Some people think of them as more important than the other, so they'll stack them. The reason why I put them in a circle is because they're all on an equal playing field. They all affect one another. So say, for instance, emotionally, you've been really fucking depressed, right? It's always my favorite go-to.
Depression.
Because I've lived with depression, so I know how it affects.
Yeah.
So emotionally, you're depressed. And it's been proven by science as well that it can affect you physically. It drops down your immune system, makes it weaker. So maybe you're more prone to becoming sick. So let's start off again. Let's backtrack. You're depressed, right? That means mentally you're not doing very fucking well. Your thoughts aren't going to very positive places. You're probably talking about how much of a piece of shit you are, how great nothing's going to be, and blah, 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 right? So then, so these two are already fucked up because this guy started to get fucked up, right? And now she's cutting in. She's saying it doesn't matter where it started either.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes you think about where it starts. It doesn't matter because it's all one thing. They're all the same.
Mind, body, soul. Yeah.
Yes. They're all one and the same. So yes, she's saying that the reason why humans get confused and the reason why they're having such a hard time seeing them as the same thing is because the labels themselves differentiate. I can't say
different. Well, they are different words, and just different words is a source of separation. Yeah.
Yes, she's saying because they're different words, you need to just come up with a word right now where they're all one, because that would really help you to understand better that they're just all one.
Or self-ball.
Musha bobble. I don't know. Musha bobble. I don't know.
Bubble. Self-ball. Musha bobble. Where'd you get Mushu from? Because that's Minerva's twin. Okay.
I don't know. We'll come up with a word. Somebody will come up. So then, you're fucked up. But now your immune system's down. So you probably got a cold when you probably wouldn't have gotten a cold or gotten sick in the first place. So now the physical's affected. And that's going to affect you spiritually as well. And she's saying, again, she wants to say they're not separate. They're together. So sometimes some people may feel it. They go into the same room as you, and they may feel down. They may feel like, oh shit, this person needs a hug. You'll feel just depressed, like you're heavy. That's where that sense of heaviness comes from. It's from that energy that you're feeling. She's saying that some people won't be able to channel, because you're just dampened. And it makes it harder for you to be open because right now you're healing. Think about cocooning yourself. So the last thing you need to be doing is letting in more energy and other people's messages. You just kind of shut down. Most of the time you don't pick up on other people's energies when you're feeling really depressed, she says. So a good sign that you're not depressed is when your empath abilities are really good. Okay, so she says that's as far as I'm going to take it. We'll just open it up to questions and maybe that'll help us to.
All right. Well, I'm going to just give us a fake apology right now to everybody because fuck you. because I just got a whole list of questions. So I'm going to start this off with making it all about me. But you know, I like to have a collective me. So I got some good questions. Okay. Heather knows this, Miss Magenta. Heather knows that I have been begging for a dream for like years, months.
Yeah.
Well, I finally got a dream, and it was just the other day, and it was about Michael. And all it was me just hugging him. And I didn't even see his face.
You were actually hugging him, she said.
Tell me this, because to me, it was so real and so vivid.
No. She's saying exactly that. Don't say it was so real. It felt so real. No, it was so real. It is so real.
So how does he agree to come hug me then?
Because she's saying, okay, you think of she said, I'm going to first explain again. They're all the same thing.
Okay.
All right. However, at the same time, you do have this higher self, this concept. She says, I know you have this concept, so I'm going to go off of that.
Okay. I really do.
So she says that his higher self communicated with him. So it wasn't his soul communicating with his the energetic body, communicating with the physical body to go and see you. Mm-hmm. It was the higher self communicating with the energetic body. A lot of you guys think that the higher self communicates directly with the physical body, because again, you think about that first. Right. She said, which I get it, because that's all you see first. You can't see the energy because you can't touch it. It's not there. You forget about it. Yeah. But she's saying that it's the higher self communicating with the energetic body. Think of the energetic body just as incarnated as the physical body. Just because you're a direct split off from that soul, from the higher self, and you're in this body, your souls. Think of God, she's fucking me up with these words, man. She's going so fast.
Slow your roll, girl.
She's saying that she's apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry. So she's saying that she's just excited. She's saying that the soul is, damn it, now Sam's here. Can we just hold on? I'm on a roll. This is so hard for me to teach.
For me to learn.
I'm all sweaty right now. I'm sweaty teaching. I'm sweaty. Okay. She's saying that you think of the energetic body as like your soul. Yes. And the soul leaving, which technically yes, but it's the incarnated version of your soul.
Yes. I get what you're saying. And let me put this into perspective, because, when I was so desperate for Michael a few years ago, my higher self assured me that when we both die, we will stay in these forms of Kari and Michael and spend time together in that place rather than this place. So I always wonder about that too, because, we talk to Eric and we talk to higher self Avery, and they are one and the same, but they're not the same. So who is that personality that's all inclusive? Because right now Magenta's talking about when Kari's astral body leaves, it's not like the higher self in general, it's the Kari version of it.
She's saying yes. And this is where, because I had to ask her questions before our session about what it means to be a starseed. I don't like to use that label. I fucking repulsed by it. I don't know why. I can't stand it. It's not like I hate anybody who uses it. I personally, I'm like, I'm not a fucking starseed. I don't know
what that means either. It came up on a channeling Eric, and they said I was. What does that mean, Magenta?
She's saying it's very important because it is just the incarnated soul. So she's like, just call the energetic body the incarnated soul. And that's what's controlling the physical puppet, the body is this. Anyone, she said, that's how you're able to trans-channel. Heather, thanks for saying my own name. She said, because your body really is just a puppet. Anyone can enter and leave out of it only with your say-so. It's like you're the ultimate command control. You're the CPU or whatever, the motherboard. And she says, but you can always change it out for someone else. Always put in a software. She's like, she's using computers. She's like, you are the hardware, Heather. But you can choose to download and take in software, and then you can always delete it and uninstall it whenever you want. So she said that's how you're able to trans-channel. They're just controlling the muscles in the body. They enter through the same way. Okay. Sometimes some souls aren't good at trans-channeling because they're not good at being able to morph themselves into this puzzle piece. They don't know how to change their shape. Anyway, but she's saying, going back to the starseed situation, people think of it again as a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're physically a different species. No, you're not. You are clearly human. You were born on Earth. You were pushed out of another human. You're human. She said, however, the incarnated soul from another incarnation, say you're she's saying, I'll use me as an example.
Okay.
I'm an Arcturian, she says. So she's saying, not me, but that me. Right. Saying she's an Arcturian. But this incarnated soul has decided at the same time to be in a human body at the same time as my Arcturian body. So some people call it, she's saying, I don't like it when people say, so that means you didn't split off from your higher self into this body. That just means, you split off from your.
So is Heather a fractal of Magenta in a way?
She's saying, don't say fractal, because that means a separation. Like I split myself up. I did not split myself.
Well, did you plant yourself then, since you're a seed, and grow yourself again? I don't know how to.
I know. She's saying it's hard because there's no right words for it.
Yeah.
She's saying that that's what a star seed is, though, is that rather than
how about taking like a copy, like a Xerox carbon copy of Magenta and planting it into the earth, the human body?
She said a Xerox copy. There you go.
Okay.
We're still the same person, though. She said, because I still want to stress that you still think of it as separate because you're thinking of it as a copy. So there's an extra, there's a duplicate. Okay. They're not, it's the same thing. It's the
same thing in different bodies, having different experiences through that filter of a whatever, or, culture or whatever.
Saying, yes, I'm experiencing life as a human through the filter of who I am as Magenta.
Oh, okay.
And that's what a starseed is. However, now let's get into it deeper. How I said earlier, they all affect each other. So if you think of the spiritual self as the incarnated soul, she says that now it affects the physical. It all affects each other. It's going to affect you emotionally, mentally, physically. Mm-hmm. And so some people may look different physically sometimes. It may affect the DNA to a certain extent. However, it's not going to be drastically different.
So do you resemble each other physically?
Not at all. She said, perhaps you may see it in the eyes. Okay. But that's as far as we'll go. I mean, it's not going to go as far as physically where my fingers will change its shape and my whole body will morph into a different thing. She says, no, that never happens.
All right.
But you can see it in the eyes.
Okay. Can I reverse? I wanted to go back to the dream question again when so Michael and I are connected over there, and that's a real thing. I smelled his laundry and I touched his hair. It was yummy. But does he then have some kind of feel or recollection or dream himself, or is
he does? She's saying, okay, let's get into that next. She says that you think of the unconscious and the subconscious as two different things. They're both the same thing. I almost wanted to say fucking same thing, but I know she doesn't cuss. I cuss. Anyway, she says, no, I cuss because I cuss. So that means you cuss. We cuss. So
she just doesn't belch.
She says, not physically. Okay. She says, no. Actually, I do burp, but in the human. So I am burping in the human.
Okay. Oh, okay. She's just helping us with these little tidbits. Keep doing that, Magenta.
Yeah, she's like, if I keep speaking as though it's the same thing, maybe it'll finally click in your head. She's saying it really is changing how you're thinking about it. She said what you're discussing and going through now, rewiring the brain. You're rewiring this way of thinking, and it's going to take time for it to sink in. You may have to rehear it and be retold it over and over, and that's okay.
Okay.
It's like there's a lot of truth to memorization and writing down notes, even though you're seeing the same thing on the board and writing it down word for word. And repeating. That's why growing up, you would write the same vocabulary word like 3 times. Retention works.
Yes. Okay.
So this one chat, it may click right away. Some of them, it's like, I don't get it. And she's saying, it's okay if you don't understand. just know that it's there, let it sink in, and kind of massage it out in your brain for a little bit, and then revisit.
Okay.
Because then maybe you'll catch something you didn't hear before.
Okay. Okay, so go back, and what did he have a feel of?
He knows. He's just choosing not to remember.
Okay, so I don't know why I made this note right here, but you might be able to help me with this, because we're talking about like astral and changing our brains and all this other stuff. I don't know if you can help me with this or not. I wish I took a better note, but I'm going to have to skip this one. It's not making sense right now. So let me move on to, if you don't mind helping me understand the chakras and why my yellow chakra is closed down entirely. For the Eric joke that it's closed for quarantine, but what does it mean to have like a closed chakra? And I was telling Heather earlier that
she's saying chakras. Hold on, she's cutting you off. She says, "I'm sorry for cutting off."
It's okay,
but I didn't want to lose my thought. She says that chakras are the same thing as the physical. You think of them as more energetic because you can't see them, but they're actually physically there. They're more on the physical front rather than in a. She said because it relates to how, again, the incarnated soul is the same thing as the physical body. They're one and the same thing. So these chakras are one and the same thing with your physical and incarnated soul.
Okay.
Wait, go.
Well, and she's on, she knew my thought before I got to express it, because it took me a while to wrap my head around the fact that something that was energetic, like a chakra, would need time to like physically heal, need time to heal. Because I kept trying to ask the guides, what kind of spiritual work, what kind of inner work can I do to heal this? And they keep telling me it just needs time to heal. You just need time. Like a broken arm would need time. You can't do emotional work to heal your bone. And I couldn't get that.
Yeah. She's saying that for a lot of people, this is going to help open a door to why they need a certain form of healing. So this is a good thing. So you're already, without having the discussion, you're already moving on rewiring the brain to think like this.
Okay.
You're just getting a jump start ahead on it, taking a pre-class before the class itself.
It's about time.
But she's saying, if there's any other questions you have regarding to chakra, do you think you understand that? Or do I need to explain it in a different way?
I guess not. I guess just the statement, just to let other people know that it is like it's a real like physical thing, even though it's an energy thing. I guess
she's saying, don't say that. She says, don't say it's a physical thing, even though it's an energy thing. The physical. Rewire me. She's saying the physical. She's saying, and it's okay. I don't mind repeating it. It's okay. It's going to take time. The physical and the incarnated soul are one and the same thing. When they're affected, it immediately affects the chakras because they're connected. Think of them as being connected to both.
Okay.
They are both. Your physical body is your incarnated soul body, or the energetic body, or the astral body, or the whatever name you put to it. It's all the same. You need to really come up with a new term. Maybe just say body, and it represents both those bodies because they're really just the same body. She's saying.
Inclusive body. We will have to come up with a term.
She's saying inclusive body sounds good.
There we go. Found one. Okay, so what is it we are doing when we are in our sleep, for example? Because I know I'm doing a lot of inner work. I am waking up in a pool of sweat. What's going on when I'm just, supposedly
She said that's
sleeping?
A perfect example about how they all affect each other. So the work you do when you're sleeping, when the physical is sleeping, is that the inclusive body will still be working. Because think of it as she's like, I don't want to use the term of a car. It's a nice example, but it still insinuates a separation.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm trying to find a good example for it, but she's saying that you're still doing this work and it's affecting you physically because it's still the same body. So even though you may go somewhere, say you're going to another dimension for a little while, you're still that physical body at the same time. And you will be affected. So how some people will get taken by certain extraterrestrials to say they got a surgery, but they're like, it doesn't make sense because I didn't feel I was physically there. No, you were, because they're all inclusive. It's an inclusive body. So say they take out something, they took out something associated with the chakra that's affecting it, because the chakras is the same thing as the physical and the energy. Say you had some kind of tumor, they could take it out energetically.
Huh.
And she's saying, but again, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's
this
that's
is going to be one that I'm like,
yeah. So she's saying that let's flip it, because you relate more to the physical. She said this may work better.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to relate from an energetic standpoint first and then go into physical.
Okay.
She said, your surgeries, you're getting you got your gallbladder taken out?
No, appendectomy and hernia.
Hernia. So she's saying those things affected the chakra at the same time, getting those surgeries, even though it was a physical thing. That makes sense to you, that things that happen physically first can affect you energetically.
Yes.
It's the same thing vice versa. So it's like taking that same thought, flipping it.
You did good.
Yeah. So when you do that, you finally realize it's all the same thing. They're all one and the same. They're not separate. So when you say my astral self went there, no, you went there. Your body, your inclusive body went there. You're not a physical body and then an energetic body. You're an inclusive body. So.
God, I can get it intellectually, but to really absorb that, I'm going to have to do it a few times. Yeah. Well, the most important question about that is,
well, thanks. She's like, you're doing good.
You're giving yourself a pat on the back.
Thanks, I know.
So I sweat so much. I want to know if I can create some exercise program in my sleep. I want to burn.
She said absolutely. She said absolutely, you can.
Okay, I'm doing it.
She said you already are. She said just keep doing what you're doing. She says that when you think about it, your term logically, scientifically, the body sweating is working.
Burning,
burning calories. So you already are doing what you want to do, what you just said you want to do.
How efficient?
She says yes, but you will get tired after a while. Because again, it's an inclusive body, so you're going to get tired.
Interesting. That's interesting too. You're going to get tired of your damn sleep
because you're not sleeping. You're not truly resting. Because she says that you still need a rest energetically and physically, but again, they're the same thing. That's why you need that rest. That's why some people, when they have a lot of dreams, she's looking at me. When we have a lot of dreams, you get tired, and you may feel it mentally or emotionally, like I'm just so depleted, and you may not feel it physically because it's more those things that are being affected. She said that's why you will have those dreams where you just completely black out and don't have anything. She said because you need that rest the most.
Oh, okay. So that deep, deep sleep in which we cannot remember our dreams is just, one of the reasons maybe because we just need that sleep. Yeah,
you're just, and she said, and think of it like this. Okay, she's talking about when she takes me, not when she takes me because I am her. When the Arcturians come to get me, you're taking it's the all-inclusive body. It's inclusive, but they're healing. They're working with the energy first, and then it affects the physical. So they heal me, and it looks like I'm in a black place, like a black hole, and that's my idea. That's my ideal of a perfect fucking place to heal is blackness, nothingness, nothing exists. You know, that's why when I get drunk, I say I don't want to. I don't even want to exist. You know, I'm in so much pain. I don't want to exist anymore. You know, I don't even want the idea of the afterlife. Doesn't sound appealing to me because I'm still existing. I'm still existing. I want nothingness. So I don't even want nothing because nothing is something.
Something. Gosh, just rejecting everything.
I know. So she's saying, she did this cute little laugh. She went, and she's like, yeah, it means you're really tired. So she says that, ooh, Sammy, hi, my love. He has his own questions.
Does he? We'll get to his too. Does any of this stuff, and again, I'm making it about me. I don't mean to, but I know I'm not the only one. Does any of this have to play in? And I don't know if I'm ready for my personal message, but for insomnia, is this astral?
This has everything to do with insomnia. She says.
Is this the time I'm allowed to learn why I have it, or not necessarily?
She said you already know why you have it, and
I do.
Yeah, she said you've been given different answers, and they're all the right ones. She says that for people that have insomnia, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you do a lot of work when you're asleep. So when you're really sleeping, and she said it doesn't have to be a long sleep either. It could be something short-lived, but you're doing so much. And then just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it's not there. You're choosing not to remember it because there's no importance for it. Because again, it's all inclusive. The body is all inclusive. So,
my theory was that I needed a break from my damn sleep so I'd wake up.
She said that too. It's all the same thing. But she's saying that sometimes things that happen in the incarnated soul, it's too much for the physical brain to handle. So I remember it in the energetic brain. So your incarnated soul will remember, which is different than the higher self. She's saying that's still separate because the higher self remembers everything. However, when you choose to go in astral, you don't remember everything, do you? You don't remember all who you are or anything like that, unless you choose to. She said, again, it's always a choice to remember that, but you choose not to because there's no point to remembering who you are while incarnated. She's saying that it's like you leave that part behind. So she's saying, she's saying, get the drawing board. Okay. Yeah, she's telling me what to do. She's like, we're on the same topic. Hold your thought. She says, she's so funny. She's cute. I like her.
Aw. Self-love.
Self-love. She's really great. Sam agrees.
Oh, cute. Sammy, can you see her? Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, he can't see her. I can't draw a brain, so I'm going to draw 3 circles. Okay.
Heather's brain on drugs.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Okay. I was telling Sam about that, where the meth, not even once kind of thing, because he didn't get it. He's like, I don't get it. I had to teach him about, DARE and the don't do drugs thing. Right. Anyway, so you have 3 different brains. She's saying, think of them as different for now. We're going to combine them later. So you have the higher self brain, and that's the one that remembers everything. That's for really fucked up H, but that's your higher self brain. It knows who you are, everything. It remembers every single past life, future life, whatever. It knows everything you've done in the afterlife or whatever.
Is that Minerva or no? That's separate from Minerva, or not separate. Sorry.
No, she said we're not getting into the topic of
Okay. Keep going.
So just for right now, put that thought away. We'll get into that on a later day. She says, then you have the physical brain, the one that you have the pictures of and everything. And then you have the incarnated soul brain. So you got that. So sometimes, so this won't remember this brain at all. It won't remember all of that. And then this as well, obviously. She said I should have put this. I should have done this. Because it would have been easier. Okay. Hip.
Got it. Hip. Hip. Hooray.
Hooray. Okay. So what happens in this brain sometimes doesn't hit this brain because it's too much. It's like, because this brain has its own preconceived ideas, but what's real, what's not real. So it just stays in your incarnated soul's brain. But they're still connected. You can choose to, but this isn't connected. It's kind of like there's a little line there, but you're choosing not to extend it.
We choose that because we're trying to learn.
Right. So she said it's like it's over here and there's a plug-in. She's using technology again. And there's a little plug-in. You're choosing not to plug in the outlet,
Your USB cable.
Right. These two are always connected, but sometimes the server's not always clear. She says sometimes the internet connection goes out.
Okay.
So it doesn't translate over, but they are connected. They're one brain.
Okay.
But sometimes it just doesn't transfer over. Your internet connection drops or the server goes down. She said, but you can always choose to remember. Translate, move this over to the physical brain. And that's when you say, oh, I remember this contact I had with these aliens.
Aha. Okay. That's so cool. Look at you teach. I think she should come help you with your classes this summer. You guys are doing awesome together.
She said she doesn't need my help. She is me. We are one.
Yes! She's just going to nail us into me. I'm going to be cured by the end of this. Okay, I'm actually going to start on somebody else's questions now, and
Okay.
I'm just going to go in order. We're going to go until we
Oh
run
wait,
out of.
Sam wants to know if he can go first.
Yes, I would love for Sammy J to go first. There's nepotism. Go.
He says thank you. And he says first he would really like to meet the Arcturian me, and she's saying to him, "It is me. You've already met me. I'm in this body though. I'm me." He says, "Okay, I want to meet you, that body of you." She's laughing because he's being a little smart ass. She finds it hilarious. Okay. So what other questions do you have? He says, "I just want to meet her."
I want to know if they're having like how they feel about each other. If you are her, does she love him?
Yeah, she says, "I love him very much."
Oh, that's so sweet.
Not quite the same way. Only because she said the same way, but for us and our people, we don't have strong sexual urges like that. So that's the only difference.
Okay.
But the love is there.
He
He feels special because he's loved by an Arcturian, because Arcturians are seen as much like how we see them. They see them the same way. Now he's asking, how do you see them? Like, they're just these higher beings that like know almost everything, and they should be greatly respected. He says,
I know
yes.
nothing about nothing, but I love magenta. That's for sure.
Yes. She says that she loves her name. I do too, because they're the same person.
I'm going to tell you something funny. Can I tell you something funny that's sitting right here?
What?
Because we're talking about magenta. Look what Jesse sent me a long time ago.
The yip yips!
Got a magenta yip yip.
That's awesome.
That's funny. Okay, so Sammy, what else do you want to know?
He says that was all I wanted to know. I wanted to know also. Talk to me. Get closer to me. He says, okay. Now he wants to know, is she affected when I get closer to you and you feel it? She says yes, but not always. I only am affected when I choose to be affected. Same thing with her. She can choose to be affected by me if she wants to, but there's a reason we are the same person, but because we're in separate puppets, she says, different meat suits, I'm not going to be entirely affected with what's going on with her. I'm still going to know what's going on. But she said it again, it's like the incarnated soul's brain isn't connecting with the physical one in regard to that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be aware unless I choose to. He says, okay. So now he wants to know, do you know about a relationship, the things we do? Are you like when we fuck? Do you know when we're fucking? She says, I know. She's saying,
I know those weren't his words.
I know. I was just trying to sum it up because he was like beating around the bush trying to be polite. I'm like, I know what you want to say, you know.
That made me all hot and bothered. Hang on, I gotta fan myself.
Okay, so she says that I'm all red. It's because it's summer. I've been going outside a lot more. I get so red when it's not because of sunburn, just because I'm native, so our skin's browner and redder. Okay. Anyway, she says that it's the same thing with me. I have the same structure. My incarnated soul is just not connecting, computing with the physical body part in relation to that, because I don't need to know that. It's not important for this meat suit. She likes that term. This meat suit to be aware of what's going on in the other meat suit, like that. Okay. He says, okay. That makes him feel better. I feel like he'd be embarrassed.
Okay. That's so funny. So magenta, is it a truth that I know that in my personal journey, because I have, I'm connecting with so many of people in my soul family, that we do the same stuff. We push through like the same things at the same time. Heather and I do with the boys. Is it like that with you two too? Do you kind of push through the same things at the same time? Or?
No, we're experiencing two different lives. Okay. She's saying that we share the same incarnated soul. She says that's why you would use the term starseed. She said, but I won't use that.
Okay, so starseed basically, for all intents and purposes, in our reality and our truth on this show today, means starseed is when you share an incarnated
Soul.
soul.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
okay, I
said,
get
but the
it.
incarnate soul still shares the same higher self, which is on the other side. So,
So you guys both belong to Heine.
yes. She says
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Ding.
So that's why I always knew I was an Arcturian somewhere.
Okay.
Right now, it was different than saying, oh, I knew in a past life I was someone else, because it still felt separate. No,
Like,
I'm the same thing.
I guess that's me with Beautiful Mistress too, then I would think, but I don't know. It's just like a currently incarnated version of myself, but I don't know.
No, she's saying that you're not going to share you don't share the same incarnated soul right now.
How does she
So
know? I mean,
she's
I'm not being bratty.
She's directly, because she's saying that she knows about what we spoke about. Yeah.
Okay.
She's saying that it's a different, you came from the same higher self versus.
But we're not the same. Okay, that really does help put it into perspective. I get that. So I might not be as similar as Beautiful Mistress as you two are in a way.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for helping me understand that. It's a concept I never had before. I did have a learn today. Thank you.
She's saying, remember that the higher self is on the other side. Most people break off from that higher self and go into incarnate their soul first, then they incarnate into the body first. So think of it's kind of like you've forgotten a step. You first incarnate the soul and and that's where you lose the bits and pieces of yourself that you don't need to remember, or you choose not to. Bits and pieces of personality that you had from their higher self, which your higher self is an accumulation of every lifetime you've had, and even things you experienced in the afterlife too. So there's certain personality traits you choose to morph. It's like, it's kind of like think of your higher self as a piece of clay, and you're taking a piece of yourself and that clay and making it into a different shape. And then you're gonna transfer it over into she's saying like some kind of Lego robot. A Play-Doh robot.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, no, it's a Lego. She's like, it's a giant robot made of Legos, and you're mushing that Play-Doh all inside the Legos, in the back of it, she says.
Okay.
You know how like little kids do.
Okay. Now, I know I've made this promise before, but I mean it this time, and I'm going to start with the questions.
Yes.
So sorry, everybody. Okay, so the first one is, and I don't know who this is from because I've cropped it. Sorry. Okay, do you guys the Arcturians have a hybrid program with humans or other ET species?
Do you have them with other ET species? You do? Not the same. She says, because we don't have sex with any of you. It's not possible unless, again, you can in Heather. She said.
Heather. Okay.
But you cannot have physical sex with us. We're in another dimension entirely. So that means that you cannot have even our genetics physically.
Wow. Now this is a whole nother concept that I'm not even going to understand, because I'm like, there's physical and non-physical, earth and heaven. I'm going to use that term. But you're like saying there's all this other stuff I don't know about.
Yes. She says that, you have your solar system, you have your galaxy, and then you have your universe. However, and think of it as a whole separate department. You have different dimensions. So you remember 2D, that's when everything's just one-sided.
Yep.
It still is within the same solar system, still within the same galaxy and universe.
Okay.
And it's in the 2D now. Okay. And there are things that you will not see because you live in the 3D.
Okay.
You won't see things that are in the 4th dimension. You won't see things in the 5th dimension. You can see their incarnated souls, however. She says your incarnated soul can jump to different dimensions. That's how we travel. And that's why we're able to travel the way we do, because we have Sam is so impressed right now. Sam's saying, not Sam saying, she's saying.
Yes.
She said, oh, that's a fun topic. I'll get into that later. So, but about how salmon are the same, somewhat, she says. But
Oh.
she's saying that that's how we're able to jump the way we do. How some people say, "Oh, I saw an Arcturian spacecraft." You saw that incarnated. Think of their spacecraft because it is made out of natural organic materials.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the incarnated soul of our spacecraft.
Okay.
No, that's
I'm gonna go now. Bye.
Your eyes. That's out there for me too. But she's saying it's very much like that. But she's saying things like my soda.
Yes.
It's not a soda. It's fucking flavored water, bro.
Yeah, man. Give a girl a break, man.
Yeah, man. So like my cup, this is not going to have an incarnated soul around it. She said it might. It's made out of glass. So it might. It's a natural, but things that are, she's saying all things eventually, if you want to look at plastic or one of the things that don't really have incarnated souls. She said the elements in the cup have incarnated souls.
Your carbonated bubbles have a
Yeah.
soul.
I'm drinking
Oh,
some soul
she's
right
consuming it. She's gonna eat your soul.
Yep. I just drank someone's soul right now. She's laughing. She's like, you're still thinking of it too literally, but okay, that's funny.
You're gonna belch it right back up soon. It's okay.
It's okay. She's like, and then I'll go into the air. Air soul.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, well, this is in the middle of, well, okay. What is your planet like, Magenta? Is it anything like Earth with water and stuff?
No,
Do
we don't need the same.
stuff?
We don't need the same elements as you.
Okay.
Hard to imagine, but we don't even need that concept of oxygen. We live off of a different life source. Your life source is oxygen. You need that to survive, to breathe. Fish's life force is water. Our life force is different. It's still something organic, something you can't touch or see, but it's not oxygen. It's a different element.
Okay, that trips me out too, because we're so like set in our mind ways, like our periodic table and our math.
Sam,
it's
am
not.
I right? He says, hi, I'm asking Sam because he probably knows more than I do about them. He's like, yeah, I think so.
He's gonna go with it.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I don't know.
Okay, so Heather, what does she look like? Did you tell me yet?
Yeah, she is very tall. Now she's all like, oh, look at me. She doesn't have any hair. She's touching her head and she's going like, look at me.
Cutie.
She says, thank you. She's purple. She's like the purple on my notebook. She's this color.
Is that why H loves purple? Because it's you.
She says that is absolutely why she loves purple. She loves herself a little bit. Even though she doesn't think so, just a little bit, she says.
Sweet.
And she says that she has big black eyes. They're all black, but it doesn't look creepy. And she has this. They have like it's a big round, kind of elongated a little bit, but not like how when you think elongated, it's not like those skulls you see
right.
in the pictures. It's not like that. It's rounder than that, whereas that's more cylinder. I go like this.
It's less phallic.
Less phallic. Anyway, so
she thinks we're 12.
No, because I don't think that.
Yes, you do. We are 12.
But the face gets smaller. The features are small on the face. So it's a sharp, small nose and a little mouth and these big eyes. There's a little white sparkle in them.
Oh, she got a twinkle in her eye. What are you wearing?
She giggles. She's wearing like this long cloak gown thing, and it's a different shade of purple. She really likes purple.
Wow.
She says, yes, I do. And she's like looking like she's like twirling a little bit.
Are all you guys the same color? Are you all purple? Or do you have different shades?
No.
Or different
she
colors?
Says, no, my brother, she said, not my literal brother. I'll get into that later. But someone I see and feel as though he is my brother is blue. He's a darker blue. I don't know what color I could.
Is that just genetics, or do you get to choose your color? It's a
You
weird
can
thing,
choose
but
your
you never
color.
know.
You can choose your color. Yes.
Really?
You can choose. We choose how we want to appear to you because we're another dimension.
Oh, okay.
And I'm choosing to appear how I actually look, she said.
Okay. There goes the carbonation. Be free.
Be free, soul. Be free.
We're like the best educators, aren't we? Love it.
The soul just escaped out of me. So every time you go to the bathroom too, the soul just escapes.
Recycling. I just free to ghost.
Sam's laughing so hard. He's like embarrassed, but he's laughing.
We're like a train wreck. We can't look away. Okay, I'm good.
He's just saying, I'm never going to look at going to the bathroom the same.
Just set your souls free.
Yeah, I know. The soul of your food.
Right. Well, yes, recycle them. Okay, so do you have a relationship with the Pleiadians?
We do. We have relations with all beings.
Oh, okay.
And so do you. She says, whether you know it or not.
Okay. How does one know when we are energetically communicating with an Arcturian? Is there like a telltale sign?
She said, back to the brain thing. Your incarnated soul's brain may not communicate and connect to the physical brain that it's communicating.
Okay.
So she's saying that's for you to choose that you're going to remember or not.
And is that any different with any other being? Because she said Arcturian specifically, but to me that sounds like a universal statement. Okay.
It is.
Okay. Well, we already talked about chakras, but I'm going to ask this question. Do you have any tips for keeping our chakras and energetic bodies balanced?
I do. Take care of yourself overall. So she said, it's all inclusive.
All connected. That's right. Okay. Okay. So here's the question that I can kind of relate to. Somebody wants to know what happens when she vibrates at night, and it only just started happening to her. And I was telling Heather that I feel like when I first started my journey and I would take these big leaps and bounds in my evolution, that I could almost feel myself vibrate at my new level, and it would take me a while to acclimate to that. I don't know if I made that up or if that's a truth. But what is happening when we feel ourselves vibrate?
She says, don't bring down how you think. Because remember, like I said, you have the incarnated soul's brain and then you have the physical body's brain. Okay. Sometimes when you have those thoughts, it's your incarnated soul communicating with the physical brain. And that's you connecting and knowing that that's what's happening with you.
So I need to trust my thoughts more.
Yes.
Okay.
She said, for some people, that'll help them better with understanding their all knowings. Sometimes, she said, sometimes, you know how I say with the outlet? She says, bring up the picture again. Okay. She said, this is less for you, Kari, but more for the people watching it. They have to see it again. Okay. She said, remember how I said it's an outlet? You can choose to plug it in and unplug it. She's like, sometimes you choose to plug it in.
Okay.
And that's when you get all knowings, because then you have what you call your guides. Mm-hmm. Think of them off on the side here. They communicate to your higher self. They're telling them things, and you're communicating back to them. And sometimes you're aware of that, and you'll plug it in. You'll be like, okay, thanks for the information. That's what I needed to know. Let's communicate that to these guys over here. So you'll plug in, and then, boop, 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 boop. She says, it's so cute. She's like, boop, 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 boop. And then it'll communicate to this guy. And then sometimes it'll connect. Either way, it doesn't matter which brain it goes to, because you're still going to have been affected by the information, that download, because it's all the same thing.
Okay.
It's all one. So you can choose to have the physical brain aware of it, but that doesn't matter because it's still affecting.
Okay.
Because they're all
I got it. So I'm going to assume then, I'm going to own my information download that we vibrate because we are acclimating to a new vibration that we have.
She said, I didn't quite answer that woman's question only because I don't know the answer for her.
Okay. That's my answer.
She's saying she's wanting me to draw a circle around these guys, because she's saying it'd be more accurate to make it one big circle that they're in.
Okay.
Well, and she's like, make these connect like that, so it looks like they're in a loop-de-loop and they're going around each other all the time.
Okay.
Thanks for correcting me. She's like, no, we are correcting ourselves.
Okay. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay, so,
Loop de loop
okay.
and pull.
Okay, Patricia wants to know that for somebody like herself, what is the best way to re-enter a physical body so that you don't feel like you're in a constant daze or physically uncomfortable afterwards? I guess she gets a little looped out afterwards.
She's like, She says that I often have this problem myself sometimes. She said, I'm definitely going to have this problem when I go back after our chat. But she says that they're all the same thing, the body. So do things that'll first affect the physical body. So maybe jump up or down, do some exercise, things that affect the physical body first.
Okay.
And then that'll help you feel more planted in.
Okay. Do you ever show yourselves energetically? I guess you're doing it right now with you.
Yeah.
Right?
She said, yeah, but again, it's the same body. It's the same thing. So.
Okay. Okay. Do you, I'm going to ask you specifically, and then I'm going to ask everybody else, do we all have the same chakras, the energetic system?
For the most part, yes. It just depends on that species structure too, because again, they're all affected by each other. So the chakras can be affected by how the body's affected. She's saying that, so think of a dog. He's sideways, so his chakras aren't going to go up like ours do. His is going to go the other way.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so here's a question going back to that vibration, feeling the vibration. What is with like somebody's experiencing like a buzz in their head, not their ears, but they can hear inside their head a buzz. And I don't,
she says that I would have to be asked what's happening exactly with that person because it's all different reasons.
Okay. And
but she's like, hold on, let's plug into the higher self. She said, let's plug in the outlet, and then maybe let's ask spirit, and then it'll communicate to all three brains.
Oh, okay.
She said that's how you can think of channeling. Just
plugged in.
I'm plugged in. You know, when I want to disconnect, I go like this out. You know,
you're ripping out the wire.
I'm whipping out the wire.
Interesting.
Anyway, so okay, hold on.
That can actually be an effective ritual for somebody that needs to have a ritual.
She's saying, okay, again, that's that some people will actually physically be affected when the brain starts to get connected to the incarnated soul's brain and the higher self's brain when it's communicating and transmitting that information. It's sometimes, you know how sometimes electricity kind of, you hear it hitting an outlet or something? That's, it's that. It's your
brain's frying.
No, misfiring. I'm kidding.
Sizzle.
Yeah, she's like, you're getting information. You're getting a download, as you say. That's actually what a download is. It's all the wires connecting all together.
Okay. Which dimension do you reside in? I don't like these questions, but somebody does, because dimensions feel
she said, but we have a different construct for what dimensions are, but we understand what your idea of what it is. People say we come from the 9th dimension. She says, I, for one, don't really know what that means. You know what that would mean for you. Okay. Because our numbers are different.
Way up there. Yeah. Right. Math is not necessarily universal. Interesting.
Right. She said, definitely not in our dimension. Your math would not work in our dimension. It wouldn't even make sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even simple math? It has to. Really?
No, our math is different. Our
like
laws
1 + 1
are different.
Wow. Okay.
She's like, our laws of physics are entirely different as well.
I'm not even going to try. I'm going to move on.
She said, no, that's a different topic for a different day.
For a different lifetime. This brain can't do that one. Okay, so what do you eat food?
We do eat food.
What's your favorite? Takis?
She said yes, actually. Not in this body, but in this one, yes, right? Isn't it food amazing? She says food is very amazing.
You know, my guides use it to help me, work and grow, but that part kind of sucks. But man, I feel so sad for the people that don't get to eat cheeseburgers.
She's saying actually a lot of, there's, more of the answer to this, and part of the answer for why I like food.
Yes.
But she's saying, but it's because I'm enjoying the human experience in terms of food.
Fuck yeah.
Food, she's saying, you have some hot wings in the freezer. I do. She's like, eat those. So she's like, issues. She's saying when she eats, she's not just eating for herself. She's eating for me to enjoy it. She's eating,
oh, how funny.
This carbonated water for me to enjoy it. Because I love carbonation, but I want it flavored. I love soda, I think. Actually, it's too much sugar. I love the idea of it. I think it's just the carbonation I like. So that's why I like
I need bubbles too sometimes. Just give me bubbles.
But anyway, she's like, when she takes a shot, she's taking a shot for me to enjoy too. So
I do that. Sometimes I'll be like, fairy girl, we're about to shove this pizza in our mouth. You better enjoy it.
Yeah. She said, because you directly incarnated from the higher self's enjoying it. Whereas we are sharing the same incarnated soul. We're enjoying it with each other. And then
Tiny.
And then Heine too, last. She's like, just think of her as the third wheel.
That's so interesting. Are there another of you, or is it just you two sharing this starseed spot?
It's just
that is so sweet. Do you feel like she's your bestie in a way, Heather? Do you love her so much? That's so cool.
Well, I don't love her so much because I don't really love myself.
Okay.
That fully.
She's your damn mirror.
But I think it could help me to love myself better by loving her. Sometimes humans need to learn to love themselves.
Yes, I do know. I have a huge mirror right now. I'm getting there. Oh my God. Free
I'm so sorry, bubbles. You guys. I'm so sorry. Souls need to escape.
I have been so burpy at home because I'm like, I'm waiting for that big energetic yellow chakra burp.
You got a huge soul trapped in there, girl.
I really do. I have a whole incarnation in there. It's gonna be...
She's laughing. She's like, you're laughing. She said, I'm laughing because you're laughing. That's so true. That's so weird.
I know. This is going to be a fun one to pick apart later on tonight. Okay. Well, I'm going to skip that one because we have addressed it. We got so many. It was about the difference between channeling spirit versus, you want to answer spirit versus ET? Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. No, wait. Let's go back to that one then.
Okay. What's the difference?
She says there is no difference.
Okay.
Except they just come from a different place. One's more closer to your dimension than the other one. She should actually, spirit. Oh, I just saw Josh. I just saw my boyfriend. She said our boyfriend.
She's not fooling around.
I know. She keeps correcting because, it really is a thought process we have to rethink.
That is interesting. See, I don't think I have to have that same process because I don't have one of those right now. I mean, I might, but I don't know about it. But isn't that interesting? I still have to do it with like the higher self in me. I'm still integrating that.
She said, yeah, so just begin. It's as simple as talking differently, and then it makes the brain think differently. So she said, that's why your words are so important.
Well, believe me, I've been telling myself I'm not even going to say it right now. I used bad curse words at myself earlier today. That's okay.
She says, yes, it's okay. Forgive yourself and then move on.
Because then I had a good positive talking too.
Good. She said that every second you're a new person. It's not every day. It's every millisecond, every breath you take, she's like, every breath you take, every step you make. She's singing.
It's true.
Where does he keep coming out from? There's no fucking doorway there.
Teleporting again.
Back. He just keeps coming back around. He's going around in a circle. What is he doing? I don't know. It looks like, okay, so on the side of the house where I see him coming out from, there's the fence there to the backyard. And I just saw him exit out there a minute ago. And then I saw him exit out again the same way. I'm like, how are you? There's no door over there. I didn't see you walk back over there. Oh, no. Oh, here he comes. Oh, why is he doing that? Oh, I see why he's doing that. Never mind.
That's okay. Josh is spinning around in circles again.
Okay, what were we talking? Oh, right, spirit. And she's saying that, she says, I'm flighty like that. See, she's changing the subject. She's like, I change the subject all the time. And so then I changed the subject too. She's like, I just changed the subject again. She's saying that, think of this. She's saying the concept of dimensions is something for incarnated beings.
Okay.
Souls in the spirit realm, spirits are not even in a different dimension. They're just in a whole other plane of existence entirely. She says, think of it like that.
Okay.
She's like, another drawing. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Didn't know this was art class. Get on with it.
Fuck my ass. Where's my eraser at?
Love to. I don't know.
Fuck my ass. Oh my God. I can't find it. I'm stressed out.
Use your arm. Use your hand. Spit and wipe.
I have a tail.
Tail? What's that? Your Texan's coming out.
Tail. Oh, it's on the floor. Over there. Why did I throw it over there? I don't remember doing that. It's fucked. Okay. What was I drawing?
I have no fucking idea.
She forgot too.
Oh God, okay. We've changed the subject too many times.
We changed the subject. Okay, hold on, everybody. Everyone. Okay, so she's okay. Hold on. We got a blank. We got a nice board. Yeah, we got a nice board. Let me move this back. Okay.
That's how I feel right now. There's nothing there.
So she's like, you got your planet. It's this little dot, right? And then you got the solar system, all the other little circles around it. She's like, it doesn't look anything like that. She's making fun of my art. It's like, what is that?
Amoebas. It's a carbonation.
She says, but then you go further out, you got other planets, and then you got other galaxies. They're just bigger swirls. Like, so you got other galaxies, and then you got other planets and stars and blah, 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 more galaxies. And she said, but then you have a different universe. So, but then those universes also have the same thing. Different planets, different galaxies. She said, however, put this in a box. This is its own dimension.
Yeah, let's go ahead and separate the things that aren't separate. Go. Just kidding. Go.
She says, so this, not a universe. Sorry, I fucked that up. She said, no, you didn't. Yes, I did.
Atmosphere? No.
So you have your different galaxies.
Galaxy.
So let's say, hold on. I did do that right. I just used the wrong word. So let's say one of these swirly things, we're going to go into another galaxy. Think of it as this semicircle like that.
Okay.
So now you're in a different galaxy, and then you have the same thing, different planets and stars and all that good shit. But all this is within one dimension.
Okay.
And we're in the third dimension. Some people say humans are going to work up to 5D. She says that's not physically possible. No. You're never going to physically move to another dimension. Right. Just no, not permanently at least. Says that, but then you have the same construct, all of the same thing, but in a different dimension. But you can't see what's going on in these other dimensions. She's like, but they keep adding more and more and more. However, outside dimensions and a whole other plane, think of this as a line. A line, she said, you really should use different colors. She said, think of this line, you cross over into the spirit world. She's like, your soul, it was here on Earth, right? And then it died. Oh my God. She's saying, she's saying, oh my God, I moved over, right? And here's the afterlife. It's whatever the fuck. It's a whole different plane.
It's the whatever the fuck. I got that. Heaven, AKA whatever the fuck.
I liked her when the soul died. Oh my God.
She's a you.
That's so funny. Okay. All right. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to change the subject.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything about the human body that you wish you had? Like the ability to belch or eat a pizza? I know you do it with her.
She was talking about the food. She said the food.
Okay. Anything else? Like anything else?
No.
Like
she
about
says
humans?
everything I already
about
have.
The hair?
No. She said, because I could always like make a wig.
There you go. It's, it's more trouble than it's worth sometimes. I got lucky, but a lot of people have to go do all kinds of stuff to their hair. Okay. I don't know what this means exactly. Maybe you have an answer. What is your specialty as a race? Like, what are Arcturians? What's their claim to fame?
She's making a joke. She's like, like, are we known for our raisins?
Yes.
Like, or, like some cities are known for like, oh, this is the DUI capital or whatever. Like, what do we make?
A DUI capital. Yeah, that's what's your claim to fame.
Dimension jumping under the influence.
Funny.
She's like, it's against the law.
She don't wanna. Let's see.
She says, I would say I would go off of what the humans would say about us. And we're known for our kindness, peaceful, all-knowing. We're not all-knowing. We just have been around a long time, so we've seen a lot. So
what's the point? I mean, I'm not being bratty, but what is the point of being an incarnated being that knows so much? Why be physical? Or are you? No.
She says, I'm physical in my dimension. I'm not
Okay.
physical in yours.
Okay.
She says that the point of it is because you want to experience life through that incarnation. You still have an ego, the concept of ego.
Okay.
You still have that because there's still parts of me I don't remember of my higher self, because what would be the point? People will think of us as having no ego only because we don't have the same type of ego. She says that also all of us affect one another.
Okay.
Our existence helps to spur on the existence of others. So that's the point.
Okay. Why? How does your existence spur on the existence of others?
Our knowledge helps others grow.
Okay. So
no different than a parent helping a child.
I was going to say, so a really easy, simplified answer is that you are teachers to us.
Yes.
In a way. Okay.
Yes. We have our own teachers as well, but they would be ungrasped, like in a concept that would be hard for you, because we're already a hard concept in and of itself for you.
Yes,
so it's
are.
Like we're a way to teach you about the concept of other dimensions and the concepts within our dimension into yours. So maybe one day we can integrate all the dimensions. She's like, and that would be crazy.
Has that ever happened in another
universe?
Dimension? Yeah, there you go. Another place.
Yeah, I forgot to add universes. She's like, yeah, there's different universes. She said possibly. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never traveled to another universe that I know of.
God, that's it. Okay, so I get it. Okay, so do you have fashion? Do you all just wear your little robes? Do you have creativity in clothes?
You have some creativity, not nearly to your degree. But you can think of us choosing the way we build our ships. That's a form of creativity. You got to be creative. You got to create it first. We got to create clothes. Like crazy. That requires some kind of creativity.
Okay. Okay, I've never heard this before, so I'm curious about this answer. Liz wants to know that why is it when people channel your race, they act silly and strange when delivering your message? I know why you do, because you're her, but why do the rest of them, if that's true?
She says it just depends on the relationship they have with that individual they're channeling. Could be how they're handling the energy, our energy, in the same room as them.
Do you guys tend to be like lighthearted and happy? Maybe that's
for the most part. Yes. Some people channel us more seriously because that's how they perceive us to be.
Right.
It just depends on the person.
So are you guys in general, are you like a fair representation in personality that you just can hang? Could we go hang with you?
We're all different personalities, she said.
Okay. Okay. Just like us then.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Something happened. Wait, talk.
Yeah?
No, it's not as good. It's not as good. Sorry, you got to break your ears.
Hold on.
I know you need better ones. I hate those for you. When you trance channel, they complain about that. They don't like your ears. We can get you some squishies.
My ears
are okay, so Do we tend to have certain traits in our human incarnation if we were once Arcturians?
She said I already answered that question.
Okay, but I didn't really read it, so I didn't really know. It's hard to like follow along and do this. Okay.
No. She's saying like earlier discussion that we're having where she was explaining starseeds
Okay.
and all that.
Okay. Leanne wants to know if you'll come get her. She wants an Arcturian to come get her. I don't know what that means.
She's smiling. She says, sure.
Okay. Just raise your hand, Leanne. Okay, well, how do you, I'm going to answer this question. Leanne also wants to know how to connect. And I think you just put your thoughts out there. Just put your,
Absolutely.
Your Aquaman vibrations in there. Okay.
She says she likes, she's thinking about the soul going, oh my God.
Okay. What are your family structures like? Do you get married and live in your house with your kids?
No, we don't. No, ours is very different. That doesn't mean all beings from our dimension do this the same way. Okay. She says that the way we reproduce is different. Sex is more with the incarnated soul part. We've learned to incorporate how the physical body can be affected by the incarnated soul in such a way. So we don't have physical sex like you do, where, an appendage goes inside a body, inside a hole.
Right.
Ours is more.
No fucking.
She said, no, we do. It's just more energetic. Okay. And it's never with any humans. She says that, at least that I know of. And she says that when we create a child, we're all a family. Every one of us are brothers and sisters.
Beautiful.
So there are no parents. There's people that are older that'll guide us, but there are guides. That's what we see them as. We don't see them as our parents. There are, like a guidance counselor, she said.
And those guides care for you when you're a baby then?
Yeah, it's a group. It's everyone cares for each other and helps raise one another.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Everyone's a family, she said, everybody.
I want to go be an Arcturian.
She says, sure, come along, come on.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I have to go back.
She's saying, maybe I'll help create you.
Heather, you know what that makes me think about, right?
Oh, yeah. The little vision I had.
Magenta, do you know if I'm going to be born as Heather's baby?
I do not. But she's like, let's plug in the outlets. Let's channel.
Plug him in. Go find out.
She says, okay. She's like, she's so funny. She's like, ding, 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 ding.
Dial in.
So I'm acting like one of those silly people that channel Arcturians.
You are. You're one of them.
Only because she's weird. She's weird.
Well, I guess she started it.
She started it. Oh, this is interesting. She's giving it to me in energy because she knows that's how I channel. She's like, so this is a channeled response.
Yes, okay.
She's like, I'll get into that later too, how the different outlets connect. Okay, so you channel differently. Anyway, so she's saying that you're still deciding whether or not you want to incarnate. That's why I keep saying maybe I'm having a second daughter. It's a big maybe.
So it's a that's so sweet.
Because that's you choosing whether or not you want to do
more damn work.
Yeah, she said healing from this lifetime as well as others, just regarding sex and self-love. But at the same time, it's because you're determined to do it this time. So that's why it's a big maybe.
Okay.
And some I am. Yeah. But she's saying, but at the same time, you want to decide, maybe just do it for fun to know what it feels like to be reminded, not know what it feels like because you know what it feels like before, but to be reminded of what it feels like to have like a mother who actually loves you, to have like a supportive
I want
family.
To be my mama. I want that. That's so sweet.
So she's saying that's something you're deciding. Like, why would I be going back? The why. Because that's a big, she said that it's our belief as Arcturians that the why is just as important as you being here, the why. So sometimes a soul won't choose to incarnate because they won't have a good reason why. So you're trying to see a good reason why.
Okay. We're going to investigate that on a different day, okay? I want to
Okay.
play with that a little bit. I love that so much. That's affected me more than you know. I haven't talked about that yet. Okay, hang on. Let me breathe for just a sec.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm going
Well,
to go
she's
back.
saying, hold on. She threw something else. She's like, I know you want to change the subject, but hold on. She said that you wanted to learn
Okay.
Sorry, you froze. She's saying you wanted to also learn how to experience being who you are as Kari in this lifetime, like exactly the same, but with a different upbringing. So to see if it would come out differently, not that you need to relearn anything. So, you're not relearning anything. It's not that you failed or anything as Kari.
No, I get it.
There is no failure. You're just like the same thing, but a different equation added to it. It's all the same numbers, but in a different equation, she says.
Wow. That's so interesting. That interests me a lot, nature versus nurture and all that stuff. And, I'm in a big place of compare and contrast.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that, soul self me would be having these considerations. That's trippy. That's so, so beautiful to me. God, I would love for Heather to take care of me like that.
Maybe I'd be a really cool mom.
I'm a cool mom. I'm a little too cool, I think, but I like me. Okay. Gotta go back to the insomnia thing for a sec because I sometimes do the same thing, but mine's all over the place. Somebody wants to know why they keep waking up right out of the blue at exactly 3 a.m. Is the soul self like poking them? It's time to wake up and look at that clock. We got a message.
Well, she
for you.
says, okay, within the dimension you live in, she said not even dimension, just the culture, society you live in. She's going off topic. Go back. So you have your same society that you grow up in, you have certain beliefs. You have a thing called the witching hour. You believe in the power of that. Whether or not you're aware of it, it's deep-seated in your society.
Okay.
Because so many people talk about it, you may find answers that you wouldn't normally find. She's saying sometimes your incarnated soul's brain will find ways to make your physical brain connect.
I get it.
Together.
I totally get that.
And she's saying you waking up at 3 a.m. is you telling yourself there's something important I'm learning that I need to grasp, or there's something going on. And the fact that you keep noticing 3 a.m., that's why there's no such thing as coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're doing it to yourself. You're creating the coincidence for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you notice patterns. Humans notice patterns. And she says that there's a reason why you're noticing 3 a.m. Look into that. Look into why. And feel out the answer. Because then your incarnated soul's brain, your physical brain is going to connect. So she said, so I'm not going to tell you the why. That's for you to do.
Okay. I'll share mine because Heather and I learned about mine recently. And Heather and I, we both have the favorite number of 17. And
oh my God. I'm sorry.
Go. What?
Everything makes sense now.
Oh, she had a drop in. What was it? She got an epiphany.
No, everything. You know how I always try to connect science with spirituality? This is it. This is the conversation. Everything's coming together. Everyone thinks, I don't know how to explain it.
I know. Explore it for a sec. Take a breath and try to articulate it.
Everything is science, and science is spirituality. Spirituality is science. It's one thing. We separate it, but it's really all entwined. It's one thing.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
So when she was talking about how there's no such thing as coincidences, you created those, you think it's from spirit. Sometimes it's really, it's from spirit, but when she talked about, oh man, I erased it.
About the cultural beliefs?
No, the higher self brain.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about that. It could be from spirit, but it's like all those outlets clicking. It came from spirit, or maybe from yourself, or maybe your higher self talking to spirit saying, hey, how do I get myself to finally get this together? And you guys are brainstorming ideas. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. So you plug in the outlet of your higher self to the incarnated soul brain, and then that will try and connect it to your physical brain. That's just all that is. I don't know why. to me, that just made everything
Okay, well, let me.
in my head about how people will give power to numbers they see in patterns. It's
Yes.
important for you to notice those patterns. They're there for a reason, because that's your incarnated soul's brain trying to connect to the physical brain to make sense
Yes.
of it scientifically with it spiritually. Does that make sense?
And using whatever cultural norms, filters, whatever, to get us to that place.
Yes.
And I don't know why 17 started out as my favorite number. I have some theories, but it did. So my guides use that. It's like an intertwining thing, I feel like. And for me in particular, I love this story, so I want to share it. But they're becoming more and more frequent. I get them all the fucking time. And Spirit recently dropped in. I don't trust Spirit, but I'm going to go with the story anyway. That they're becoming more and more frequent and bigger in size. And what that means to me in my journey is that I'm getting closer and closer to finding the other members of my M6 family. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. And I notice it, and I know okay, so my question is though, how are we like nudged to look at that clock at that time? Is just a thought implanted in us from our higher self, or how? It's uncanny how many times I catch that. Why am I pushed?
She says, first level is that it's you telling yourself to look at it.
Okay.
However, the first thought that you want to start, she said, you seeing 17 in the first place and wanting to create that pattern was something your higher self probably discussed with your spirit guides and agreed upon, inserted that outlet for a second just to say, hey, start doing this, and then unplugged it.
Okay.
And then then you start creating that reality for yourself.
Yes. Okay. That's cool. Okay, so 3 a.m., the reason these people are just putting power into that number, and their guides are using that power.
Yeah.
Like a talisman in a way. It's a crystal or whatever it is. It's a tool.
Right. It's a tool. You whether you are aware of it or not, you know it's important in your culture, and you know that there's going to be enough information online or in books all about it that you can look up so you can do your own research about why you're having this.
So it's probably a personal reason.
She said Spirit's always trying to work with you to try and give you your own power. So for a lot of people, it's about gaining that power. For you, but it's in small ways. For this individual, I think it was the woman who asked it. She's saying that it's kind of like your own way of gaining your power back by doing the own research yourself, and then trusting yourself a little bit more by understanding why you're getting up at 3 a.m.
Oh, I like that. That was a good little trail to start. You go figure that out, Deborah. Okay, somebody wants to know, Kimberly, why do you want to know this, you funny girl? Is Simon Cowell an Arcturian?
Yeah, that Dudge guy. I love him. She says that first, we're not annoyed with him. Two, no, he is an incarnated human.
Okay, you're right. He is.
We're all human.
Right.
I'm human. Heather's human. Now, if he's your definition of what a starseed is, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's a no, but I don't want to go against what another medium said, you know?
It was pretty generic. I don't know what anything said.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Ooh,
no, wait. She's saying because, okay, the theory behind that is that, you know, he just forgot his mission as an Arcturian, but she's like, nothing's ever truly forgotten. You just chose to end doing that. Could be that the Arcturian incarnated soul decided to leave. And was like, I'm decided I don't want to do this. So he didn't forget. It's just maybe a whole new incarnated soul took over the meat suit.
Ah, okay.
So what you would call a walk-in.
All right. Do you guys have an origin story about how everything began?
She says, no, yeah, we all do. So do
What's
humans.
Your story?
So does Earth have its own origin story?
What's yours?
My God, I'm so tired.
Oh, baby, I know. And I got so many questions more, so we can just, wrap it up real soon because we had a
No, I'm
nice long
done.
conversation.
I'm
You're
just
done?
done. Because doing that whole origin story, that's a lot of
That
energy.
is a big one. You're absolutely right. Okay. Well, I am going to end it there because I'm even tired and I'm not even the one channeling. But
We've been talking for 2 hours, girl.
are you serious? Oh my gosh, we're not going to have time for our little chat. That's okay.
That's okay. Next time.
Next time. Okay, well, Magenta, I loved hanging out with you. I often feel like, and I don't know why I do, it's just my own stuff I have to go through, like an imposition, but you really made me feel like we're just friends hanging out because we are friends hanging out
Yeah.
because you're my sissy too. We must love each other then. I love you.
Says I love you too.
All right, H. Oh, you want to say anything? You want to say goodbye?
Only that I'm offering classes, teaching channeling.
Well, I meant
So
her, not you.
that technically, yeah. I am. She is
Same
saying that.
thing. You're speaking for her. Speak
Yeah.
for yourself. I am.
Yeah. She's
All
saying
right.
the same thing. She's like, yeah, take the class.
Go check out Sissy's class because you saw from this, her little whiteboard. She loves her dry erase board. She brings it with her to all the events. It's her
Yeah.
favorite. So you did get a little piece of her teaching style. And so look how fun it was. Look how much laughing and knowledge was passed on to us today. So go
Yeah.
take her class. Go look at her website and check it out, and check out mine for some Mac Daddy healing.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
Sissy, let's go ahead and just keep this short and wrap it up so that we can go eat and sleep, the
Yes.
sloths that we are. Okay, baby. I love you so much.
I love you too.
And I'll talk to you later, okay?
Bye.
Bye.